church planting has always been a part of Bend Nazarene, or at least being forward-thinking and finding ways to reach out in Central Oregon. The district encouraged us with the first church plant and asked us to launch. They asked us for a commitment of $50,000. And so probably my first concern is, what is it going to mean to give money away? The second is, I know that we were going to be giving key members of our church away. And can our church survive if we give these younger families or these key parts of our congregation away? And then I think there's even that thought of, if we plant this church, are they going to be the cool church in town and we're going to end up with the leftovers?
When we partnered with Bend Church the Nazarene, we began to cast vision to a wonderful, healthy, established church. What would it be like if we planted a new church together? And as we shared the dream with that church, we had several of their core members say yes to Jesus Christ and feel the call to be a part of this. We also began to build relationships with people all over the community, people who had moved here from California and other states that had been a part of a church in the past, but was currently not connected with a church. And we also built relationships with people who are far from God. And this kind of hodgepodge group of people came together. We saw salvation experiences as we were creating a core team, and we brought a group of people together who were all in the same boat as we were all saying yes to a call that God had placed in our life.
One of the exciting things about planting a church or sponsoring a new church is that you recognize there's a whole different group of people that's going to come to know the Lord and come into the life of the church than your church. Bend Mission Church is a totally different flavored church than we are. Their worship is different, preaching style is different. Even the group of people that they reach is an entirely different group of people.
In the last 4 years, we've had 200 brand new commitments to Christ. People who have never accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. And so our church on a weekend over 3 services is comprised of over 400 people now, and over 50% of those people are brand new Christians. And I'd say another 25% are people who've recommitted their lives to Jesus Christ.
Actually, we started talking about another church plant maybe even 3 years ago, and started thinking about when that opportunity would come. And the Lord's just brought all that together with Pastor Ryan, my worship pastor, whom the Lord has called to be a church planter. And Mission Church is now about 5 years old, so they're sensing that call to plant. And the Lord's just bringing all those pieces together.
We showed up here at Bend Nazarene in 2008 as the worship pastors. Well, fast forward now to 2011, and both Bend Nazarene and Bend Mission are feeling the sense that it's time to plant another work. And at the same time, God had been working in our hearts to be church plant pastors. So Pastor Virgil and Pastor Brent and I sat down in an office one morning, and we talked about it, we prayed through it, and we determined at that point that God was leading us together with the help of the other churches on the zone to plant a church in Redmond, Oregon.
I think there are lots of reasons why we would be afraid to launch a new church. Many of us, we've grown up in churches and we're comfortable, and we wonder, how could we plant a church? We're in tough economic times, and so you crunch numbers on paper and you say, well, we don't have the money to plant a church, we don't have enough people to plant a church, we haven't gotten far enough in our current church to plant another church. And there are many reasons, and I think many of them come from the enemy. He does not want us to plant churches because they're effective.
The greatest encouragement I could give any church in sponsoring a church plant is fear not, that the Lord really will provide, and that these laws of replenishment, these ideas of celebrating the success of the new church, all of these things are absolutely true. And your church will be revitalized if you'll be obedient to the Lord, step out on faith, and take the next step in planting a new church.